Recording in progress. I gotta wait for that. Yay! Grateful AF day 3. You've made it. You're here. Whether or not you did the AF days, I hope you're learning something. I hope you're having some good takeaways from the content and information that I'm sharing. That's really that's the best that any of us can hope for, is just to take it where we're at and really honor where we are. And if you're used to having AF days and this is your 3rd one in a row, well, amazing. And that's a place that anybody can get to. Like for me, I couldn't have one alcohol-free day ever for years. Like I would try and I just would completely self-sabotage at like 5, 6 o'clock. That was just me. So I didn't even have one for years. And now it's just a regular part of life. So really honor where you are and just take the next step. So if you showed up every day and you're having takeaways and you're implementing them, you're going to get somewhere, right? You're going to see progress. It's going to happen for you too. Stay with yourself and stay, like I just am such a fan of saying, mindful drinking is a practice. It's not a switch that you turn off and on. It's like a decision to become a mindful drinker, and then taking the daily steps, the mindset shifts, the thinking processes that you need to adopt to become that way as a natural byproduct of the work that you're doing. So it's a skill. Anybody can do it. There's nothing wrong with it. Thanks for being here. So yay for you. Yay for you for showing up. Yay for being here. Yay for being in this group. Yay for your desires and wanting a healthier life for yourself. And I would just like to acknowledge that the conversation that's happening in the messenger chat that's attached to the event is beautiful and so honest and authentic. And if you're not over there and you're looking for the posts in the group, they're actually happening over in the messenger chat. I haven't had the bandwidth to respond in there, but I have read everything and it's so beautiful. You guys are you're right on track. And it's sometimes messy, right? We're human beings and we're grappling with ourselves all the time. And that is the human experience. And when we're used to drinking all the time to manage that, we're taking away from our human experience, so to speak. So really, when you remove alcohol and you're kind of left with some sort of a messiness, it's like, that's what it is. That's what it is. It's what you want to be in, because that's what being human is. And that's what living a full life entails, like having a range of emotions, having feelings, allowing yourself to have these experiences without feeling like we have to take them away or make them go away because they're uncomfortable. The more you allow yourself to, if you haven't caught on yet, today's about feelings. Today's about feelings and emotions, because that's a huge part of why most of us drink, or have gotten into a maladaptive habit of drinking to manage feelings or to manage emotions, to create a different emotion than the one that we're in. That when that becomes habitual, to get out of that state by drinking, that is what's problematic. It's not drinking that itself that's problematic. It's that using alcohol to manage our emotions is what is robbing us of our own experience. And so I'd like to speak to that a little bit today. But first, I'm going to say, if you're playing to win, awesome. So you play by watching the session, implementing the mindset training techniques, the shifts that I offer you, and then writing about your experience. That's it. Easy peasy. You can still play through today, and I will be announcing a winner on Friday. That's it. Also on Friday, I'll have a new program coming out that'll slightly illuminate right now, and it's called Something Greater. And it's going to coincide with Dry January. And Dry January is great, and these dry months are great. And they don't always serve if we're just taking alcohol without learning about our habit and about ourselves in the process. And we do learn, of course, because when you take alcohol away and you're left with this experience of not having alcohol all the time when you're so used to it being there, yes, you deeply learn a lot about yourself. But what I'm offering in Something Greater is a way to have alcohol be removed. You could even do damp January. It doesn't have to be a completely sober month for you, but to come into this container, this program. I have a crazy eyebrow because I overplucked it. I plucked it off when I was 19. Anyway, so it's coming into the container with learning a new skill set, and the skill set would be success habits, and also using spirituality as part of your lifestyle. So we need spirituality to feel grounded, in my opinion. A lot of a big piece that's missing in a lot of people's lives is their connection to their spirit, their connection to their spiritual selves, and their inquiry of what it means to be a spiritual being inside of a human body. So something greater will address that, and how you can use spirituality, non-denominational. This is not secular. It's not, I'm not religious, but I do believe deeply in having spiritual practices in our lives to help ground us and connect us with ourselves, so you really don't feel like something's missing. So you don't feel like you have to go out and get something in order to feel a certain way. You are more able and capable when you have spiritual practices as part of your lifestyle to allow the universe to move through you. You are much more lenient with yourself and allowing yourself to have feelings and emotions, knowing that it's not a crisis situation, right? There is something greater at play in your life and for you. Also, having that being said, I think that nothing really motivates us more than feeling like we have purpose. Purpose and drive, and like our time here on earth, or the hours of our day, are in exchange for something that's potent and beautiful, and that we are the ones that create it. And the bummer about drinking all the time is that it takes a huge slice of the 24 hours in the day pie and makes it dormant. And so my belief is that when you take away the time, like the slice of the pie graph of the hours and the time that you spend drinking, you got a lot of time. You got a lot of time left. You got a lot of time and energy to be put into a container or a creation of something else. So I believe that everybody is creative. I believe that everybody has creative dreams or bigger dreams for his or her life that are not necessarily being done because drinking has taken center stage, so to speak. It's taken that time and that energy away from what you could be creating or what you could be doing, something greater with one's time or something greater with one's life. So that is what something greater is about. And I'll officially be releasing that on Friday. And if you were here participating, I'm going to give you a code so you can have an early bird special and all that jazz. So yeah, I'm excited. So today we're talking about feelings and emotions. And feelings and emotions, those words are used interchangeably a lot. Feelings, emotions, like they are used really interchangeably, but they are not the same. They're not the same thing. And the difference is that feelings are caused by thoughts. Feelings are a byproduct of your thinking. Emotions are brought about by a experiential state that your body is experiencing in response to a stimulus or an energy even. So let me give you an example just to clarify how you differentiate those. Say, for example, and this is totally true, but like if I have an estranged father, and if I were to sit here and think about him and like think about all the fucked up stuff and just how I wish it had been this way, and like, why is my dad like this, and oh, why did he do that, like those thoughts really just made me feel really gross. And the way that I was thinking about him, my thoughts about my dad, just I could feel my energy just went down into my stomach, like my body clenched up, my breathing was shallow, I started sweating. It did not feel good. So I created just now on purpose for you like a negative feeling state, just to give you an example based on thought alone. That is completely different than my dad showing up at my house, who I haven't seen in years, and wanting to give me a hug. That would be, my body would have an emotional response to that, which might be a whole messy bag of love, fear, anger, forgiveness, like grace, divinity, like it would be something that would be beyond the control of what I could do with my mind. It would be an experience that my body would have. I would be having that experience inside of my body, as a spirit, as a soul inside of this body. So I hope that that illustration could help you see the difference. And here's why this is important, is because we can work ourselves up into a state where we feel really, and we have drinking as a solution, right? Most people who drink all the time use drinking as a solution to manage a problem. So the problem in this scenario is that you're not feeling great, or you're feeling stressed out, and therefore you want to have a drink to make it go away. And here's why it works, is because drinking turns off your prefrontal cortex first, which is in control of your conscientious thought. Right? So if you're on a thought train of how things suck and it's awful and it's like got you worked up into a feeling state, then you want to go drink because of that. That is something that can be managed by thought alone. So the game that you're going to play today is to notice your thoughts and to notice how your thinking actually drives you in one direction or another, because you do have control over your conscientious thought. You totally do. Yes, underneath the scene of that, and I get into this way more in my private programs and my group programs, is your subconscious thought, right? And that is what really needs to be addressed and worked on. But you do have immediate control over your conscientious, your conscious thoughts. So you want to choose a better feeling thought. If you're a fan of Abraham Hicks, that's what he says, that if you're feeling because of a thought train that you're riding and entertaining, you want to choose a better feeling thought. That is something that's available to everybody all the time. It is a practice, like all of this mindfulness practicing stuff is a practice. To just be aware that you are the one who is thinking the thought. You are the one who's pulling on the thread of making the thoughts then take you into a place of feeling a certain way. Being aware of your thoughts is a huge piece of mindful drinking philosophy. So to be aware of your thoughts, and be aware of how your thoughts are causing you to feel. On the other hand, we have emotions, and emotional states are different, as I described. Emotions are even more, like they're the big ones, right? They're the big overwhelming feelings. See, that's how people use feelings and emotions differently. You do feel your emotions, but you also have to process emotions through your body. So if you're feeling emotional, the idea is to allow that to happen, because, and also emotions need to be processed by the body. They're actually metabolized by the body in the same way that food is. We excrete adrenaline, like our hormones excrete. We have adrenaline moving through our body when we're in a heightened emotional state, and that adrenaline has to be metabolized through the digestive system, through the blood itself. And when we drink in the middle of that, it's like putting water on a fire. It's like tapping it and cutting it off and interrupting the cycle of the metabolic processes of emotion moving through the body. I hope this is clear, and I want you to see the difference. So the thought, your feelings, you can control, right? To a degree, when you get better and then more excelled and skilled at managing your thoughts first. So your thoughts are controlling your feelings. Emotions have to be allowed. It's got to be allowed. And here's the bummer part, is that we just feel like we don't have the skill set to do it. I mean, almost everybody I work with, not everybody, I don't like generalizations. A lot of people I work with speak to not being allowed to have their emotions when they were younger, or that their emotions were shamed, or that they were scolded, or just be quiet. It's like our emotions make people uncomfortable, and they feel like it's up to them to have to do something with it. And for parents, yes, that is true. And that's why as parents, we need to work on our own skill set of allowing other people to have their emotions as well, because emotions have to move through. And when they're blunted and stopped and they don't process, they stay inside of us, causing a sort of festering feeling, causing discomfort, causing us then to express physical symptoms of various kinds, diseases, chronic illness. There's a whole host of situations that are expressed physically, mentally, and emotionally from stopping emotions and stunting them inside the body. So here's what we're gonna do. Share my screen. Visit. Holy cannoli. Oh my gosh. Well, I don't know where my, okay, no, pardon me. Hang out for just one sec. I am going to find it and I'm gonna blow it up. Okay. So when we're highly activated in an emotional state, where our nervous system has gone into the flight, fight, or freeze response, also known as the sympathetic nervous system, right? The central nervous system, broadly speaking, has two functions or two modes. That's oversimplifying, but the two that we're going to talk about. So there's the rest and digest, the parasympathetic side, when we feel good and relaxed and that we can cope, that we can manage stress, that we can make good decisions for ourselves in this rest and digest place. It's called rest and digest because you can't digest unless you are in a restful state. Unless you are in a relaxed state, your body cannot digest. It does not properly. This is why also eating, when you're in an emotional state, eating and drinking causes a lot of digestive upset. So you want to not really, ideally, you would never drink when you're in an activated state. Your body can't metabolize the alcohol and it can't metabolize the emotion. We're interrupting that process. If and when you do drink, you want to be drinking from a place of rest and digest. It's also when we make our better decisions. It's from a place of rest and digest and calm, cool collectedness, which is not always so easy to get to. We do get activated in the flight, fight, or freeze response. And I'm going to give you just a couple techniques. So when you notice this happening to yourself, notice that you're becoming activated, right? Either from a feeling state that you've brought on from a train of thought, or from an emotional state that is just messages from your body. It's something that is trying to move through. Something that is always accessible to us is our breath. And it's so much easier said than done. It's really quite simple. And I think that it's just, it does take some practice to just slow down and to take a moment and to just breathe through your nose and exhale through your mouth. So do this with me if you're here with me. You can close your eyes. That really helps you relax because you're not taking in as much stimulation visually. Breathe in through your nose and breathe out through your mouth. And one more time, so it feels good. Breathe in through your nose and breathe out through your mouth. Breathing like that, even just 3 breaths, should pretty instantly help your nervous system to calm. Also, in a calmer state, the body can process emotion. Another thing that you can do, and it's important to breathe in through the nose and not in through your mouth, because this is different, and this sends a signal to the body that we need to run or flee. Like this, enhanced breathing in through your mouth sets us into an adrenalized state where blood goes to your extremities and prepares you to run, right? Or to flee. That's our primal response for survival. So to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth helps calm your nervous system and brings you out of the sympathetic response. Another thing that you can do is lie flat on the ground. Lie flat on the ground, either on your back, completely letting gravity hold you, your physical body, or on your stomach. And if you have kids or you're around kids, you will see that they do that a lot when they're upset. I have a 2 and a 4-year-old, and they both still do this. So we really ought to take a lot of inspiration from the kids and animals, right? Because they naturally know what to do with their body when they're upset. Lying flat on the ground is the second method that I'll share with you. If you're finding yourself having waves of emotion and you need to be able to just allow your body to have that experience. I know when I started mindful drinking and I started taking alcohol away and it had been so present with me for so long, I cried so much. I cried so much. It was like so much built up, pent up emotion that I had in my body, and it needed to be processed from me. And now I feel much more stable. I feel much more self-regulated. But for some months, some time, I felt very sad. I felt anger coming out of me. I felt all kinds of emotions. And because I know what I know now, I was able just to allow, which is why I'm telling you, so you can have more knowledge and more awareness about what happens when we do actively engage in a mindful drinking or more of an AF lifestyle. All that stuff is still there that wasn't allowed to express itself, and it wants to, and it's trying to move out of you. And so the more you can allow, and sometimes it does feel completely overwhelming to have the experience. So just allow as much as you can allow. Don't push or force yourself to have it all come out at once or anything like that. Just really honor your capacity, your own capacity. And the more you do it, your capacity increases and expands. So lying flat on the floor, either prone or supine, just flat on the ground, and allow emotion to pass. And the third thing that you can do is, I call this circular meditation. You can't really see my whole body right now. But if you have your what are these? Hands with your palms up. So get in a seated position and have your hands in your lap with your palms facing up. And then this also helps you direct your focus and your attention back to yourself. This is really helpful for a lot of things. You can also use this if you have a craving for drinking. This helps redirect your thoughts, redirect your awareness. So I talk in circles if you haven't noticed. So back to where you were with your palms open. Bring your attention into your left palm. Notice your left palm. And then bring your attention up to your left elbow. Notice your left elbow. And now bring your attention up and notice your left shoulder. In your left shoulder, bring your awareness across your body into your right shoulder, and then down into your right elbow, and then forward into your right palm. And now go across your body. And again, left palm, left elbow, left shoulder, across the body, right shoulder, right elbow, right palm. And now go the other way. Right palm, right elbow, right shoulder, across the body, left shoulder, left elbow, left palm. One more time, right palm, right elbow, right shoulder, across the body, left shoulder, left elbow, left palm. So these are 3 techniques that can help you calm your nervous system. I really like this meme of like, nobody in the history of being told calm down ever calmed. So you don't want to tell yourself calm down, right? You want to do something physically that sends messaging to your body that you're in a safe space where emotion can be expressed. That's more the idea. I hope this was helpful for you. I think I don't know. Oh, images. This, right? Okay. This is why I put this image. Because we drink to suppress a negative emotion often. right? But alcohol does not discriminate. Alcohol diminishes all emotion. So joy, exuberance, bliss, happiness, peace, all of the ones that we want are also diminished by alcohol overuse or by alcohol use. So you don't get to pick and choose. And that's why this is important, is to allow yourself to experience the like lower end stuff. So you can also have an experience of the higher end, the higher vibration emotions. That's the polarity of being a human being, right? We need to learn how to hold both. And that is your lesson for today. I don't think I'm going to recap because of time, and I don't want this to be too long. But ask me any questions if you have any questions, and write about your experience if you try any of these things on, or what you notice, or what you become aware of. I love to hear. I read everyone's responses, whether or not I respond. I definitely read, and I'm aware of you, and I'm holding space for you. And thank you so much for being here. I will see you guys soon. Happy Thanksgiving. Grateful for all of you, and I'll see you soon.